Then you end up doing ATL.
Yeah.
Very iconic film.
Thank you. Yeah. Another true to life experience for Dallas Austin. Another film based off of Dallas.
You're right. Dallas Austin was involved in the ATL story as well.
Yeah, his life is his life is literally iconic.
Yeah, no, I mean the Dallas Austin interview. Like I've interviewed a lot of talented people, but Dallas Austin is absolutely the top of that list.
Oh,
just
yeah.
in terms of the kind of shit that he did, the hundreds of millions of records sold, and how his story intermixes with so many important events. But ATL was such a dope film.
Thanks, man.
And Lauren London was basically introduced to the world in that film.
Yeah.
I guess she was already dating Lil Wayne during that time.
I believe so.
He used to come to the set. There we go. I interviewed Jackie Long, who also worked on ATL.
Yeah, it's my dog.
And he used to say that Wayne used to come to the set. I had heard that Lil Wayne was actually dating Lauren London way back then. Like, was he like coming to the set and stuff like that?
True. That's true. If you didn't know what that was, True. That's true.
How often would Lil Wayne show up?
Honestly, I think Lil Wayne maybe showed up mainly at nighttime, not in the daytime. So ain't no telling how many times he showed up, but he showed up. You know, I know he was around, but I don't think he was around too much because Lauren, is a professional, so she had to work. But he definitely was around.
I mean, this is common knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
She ended up having a child with Lil Wayne after that. Did you have any idea what ATL was going to do when you were working on it?
Man, I knew that it was going to be received well. I knew the culture was going to love it because I knew it was like rooted in true Atlanta. Like it was authentic to the Atlanta experience and the culture and what that is down there. And I knew with Tip being at the helm of it, with Big Boy playing the Nemesis.
Right. That was T.I.'s acting debut also, right?
I believe it was.
Yeah. And probably Big Boy's also.
No, Big Boy prior to that did Idlewild. I know, he gets a lot.
Not the greatest film. It was his first good film. How's that?
Okay. Bet. So no, he had done that prior to ATL. And then I knew with Dallas, because he and I had did Drumline together, I knew his level of taste. Like, he wouldn't be behind something unless he knew it was going to be like the shit.
Yeah.
And I remember when I met Chris Robinson and we were on set. Well, I met Chris during the auditions, but I remember the first time it was confirmed to me that we were doing some pretty cool shit is we were like in the video village and he was looking at a playback of something that we had just done, and him and our director of photography, Crash, were looking at the playback, and I just remember looking at the shot and the way that it was lit and just the colors popping out, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be dope as fuck. Like, you know what I mean?
Chris Robinson did his thing on it.
No, Chris is great, man. Like
dope.
he's a great director.
He did that film on Netflix recently.
Got the film on Netflix with Anthony Anderson. I forgot the name. Sorry, Chris. And I think
let's
he's
look it
got
up
the Wu-Tang.
You're right. Yeah, he does a new the Wu-Tang American Story.
Yeah. Chris is a great storyteller. Like, man, he should. I hope Hollywood continues to give him more opportunities. To direct films and really put his vision forth because he's dope.
Beats is the name of the Netflix film.
Yeah, because he shot that in Chicago. He hired a couple of my friends back home on that.
I think Chris has quite a few opportunities that he's been given. I think he's been he's ran with.
He's definitely ran with it. Yeah.
I think he's fine.
Yeah, he is.
Shout out to Chris.
Shout out to Chris. Absolutely.
Well, when I interviewed Jackie Long, there was no plans for a ATL 2.
Right.
But then shortly after our interview, it was announced that ATL 2 was in development.
Okay.
But I guess the death of Nipsey Hussle has kind of derailed that whole process.
Yeah, I actually saw Tip recently during the ESPYs. There was an event that he was co-hosting with Gary Vee, and we saw each other there. And we had a chance to talk about it because we had, even prior to me and Tip seeing each other recently, we shot a trailer to ATL 2 like 3 years ago. Out here.
Really?
Yeah, out here.
That was how long ago they were serious about it.
Yeah, because Nip came to the set. We shot right in Canoga Park. And basically all it was like Evan Ross and Tip had a scene where there was actual dialogue that was constructed that Chris shot, and then we shot some stuff like we did something similar to this where we did interviews as our characters, and then I guess what they were going to do was cut all of that together and then present it back to the studio so that they could get approval, because unbeknownst to us at the time, like Warner was on it, like they didn't want to do a sequel. And Tip and Chris were like, look, they're full of shit. They just got to be shown that there's an audience there. So they really took it upon themselves to bring everybody together and to kickstart it. Unfortunately, I think that there was a little bit of a discrepancy, with Dallas and Tip as far as how that should have been orchestrated. We're pushing that out. But they eventually came to a resolution about that. And we're back in the talks of pushing it forward. And then unfortunately, Nipsey got killed, which has been, and understandably so, has been extremely devastating for Lauren.
Yeah.
And so when I talked to Tip about it, he was like, look, he said, we all want to do it, but, I respect for Lauren. Let's give her, some time. She's got children. She's got things going on. So from what I've been told from Tip, that's kind of where we're at with it right now. But I know everybody that was involved with the original definitely wants to do it. It's just a matter of, I guess, the stars aligning and making it happen.
Yeah, man, I hope so.
I hope so too.
Great film.
Thank you. I'm really glad that you liked it, and I'm so glad that everybody else out there likes it. It trips me out to see rap interviews or rap videos and like people standing in front of the Cascade sign, and like even people going when they visit Atlanta, and part of one of their destinations with visiting the culture down there is to go to Cascade and to take a picture in front of the sign. So that's really dope.
Well, it was a stylistic movie. Like the way it was cut and the way it was presented, I thought was really dope. And Chris Robinson's obviously the director, but there's a lot of other people that were involved in that. Our
DP Crash was dope. Yeah, our lighting guys,
you guys did your thing on it.
Thank you, man. Thank you.